Welcome to the KDFL Dynasty Football Podcast. It's me, Brett Steele, and surprise, we have both the Zenful Matt Smith and Jonathan Detroit Haynes join us today. Detroit, how's it going? Back from vacation?
Yo, it's going great. Fantasy wise, no, but I guess I'm doing better than what you guys are doing down there. So
Yeah,
hope you guys stay safe, even you, Brett.
that's right. Speaking of that, me and Matt, I'm a little bit about 2 hours south of Matt. He's in Jacksonville. I'm in Melbourne. We're bracing for tonight's arrival of Hurricane Milton into tomorrow. That being said, I'm sure, are we still saying Zenful, Matthew?
Yes, it's beautiful as always. Zen Masters looking great, better every week, better than some people on here, but ready to go, ready to hang out with Hurricane Milton tonight.
That's right.
Supplies ready to go.
That's right. All right. Well, let's kick it off. KDFL Week 5 results. Take it away, Matt.
All right, we start out with a potential playoff matchup of the Melbourne Mega Powers traveling to the defending champions, Cross Vegas Gamblers. Never mind, Cross Vegas Gamblers. I read that as the midnight rider.
Just say it
Potential.
in. Keep going.
Potential. Anyway, Cross Vegas Gamblers, old champion, a couple of years ago.
That's right.
Some would be shocked to hear that, looking at this man's current team. But anyway, the Gamblers get strong performance, starting out by DJ Moore. 27.5 points. But the Melbourne Mega Powers get a better wide receiver performance from Drake London with 33.4 points. Next up for the Gamblers, coming through big. Some say the best rookie QB in the entire draft. Well worth a first-round pick 2025. Bo Nix getting 25 points. But the Mega Powers getting Duval's own Trayvon Walker coming through with 25 points. Jaguars get that first victory, no longer winless. And Gamblers also another great QB, White Vic, Daniel Jones scoring 24 points. And the Melbourne Mega Powers, I'm going to need some help on this guy.
Frankie Louvu.
Frankie Louvu getting 23 points. Close matchup. But as everyone projected, the Melbourne Mega Powers squeaked by, winning 252 to 238.
Review of the year.
Rough one. God.
Next up, you have two winless franchises as yours truly, the LFU River Rats, head south to Nocatee to take on Matt's Nocatee Zen Masters. This was actually a pretty equal game going into it. They were both projected to score the same amount of points. It also had the number 1 drafted quarterback, Caleb Williams, going against the number 2 drafted quarterback, Jaden Daniels. And in this one, just by a little bit, well, not a little bit, I guess 5 points, Caleb Williams outscores him 26-20. So actually that's 6 points. I can't read.
We're crushing it.
The Zen Masters also got 22 points from Trevor, the legend Lawrence. Got 20 points from a linebacker and another 22 points from another linebacker. So, unfortunately, my River Rats hit the Phildoza line right on the dot, 200, but it wasn't enough. The Zen Masters 244.
All right. Now, next, we head to Wake Forest, where the Lumberjacks are hosting the 1-3 Renegades. We talked a lot about last week about how the Renegades have been on the struggle bus, reading Don't Kill Myself books, but they came to play this week. T. Higgins, welcome back to fantasy football, scoring 29. Falcons' possible best wide receiver in Darnell Mooney with 32 for the Lumberjacks. Garrett Wilson, also welcome to fantasy football as he came through for the Renegades as well with 29. The ageless Joe Flacco with 31. The newly traded for Geno Smith with 24 for the Renegades. And Justin Strard, can't be possibly how you say his name, scoring 20 for the defense of the Lumberjacks. And the Renegades shake off that early season rust and those injuries and put a stomping to the Wake Forest Lumberjacks, winning 285 to 227.
All right, next we go to the Kanawha County Kings traveling to the South Hill of the Evil Empire. And this is actually a true playoff potential matchup, unlike my last screw-up. The Kings, very mighty. Kings actually came down to Nocatee this weekend. They were feeling very high of themselves, expecting a victory. Lamar Jackson comes through, huge performance playing against the Bengals with 37 points. But he also watched Jamar Chase score 43 points in that same matchup. Tough times for him. Another struggle on my end. Bayard, I don't know who he is. Dave Bayard, who's that?
The safety. It's the safety, right?
Safety. I don't know. Score a lot of the defensive guys will struggle too much. Bayard scoring 17
He's the
points for
safety.
the Kings. Baker for the Evil Empire, another guy that I clearly know, scoring 29 points. Ridiculous. Josh Jacobs for the Kings getting 16 points, but the Evil Empire getting 23 points from George Kittle. This matchup, surprisingly, not close at all. The Evil Empire destroyed the Kanawha County Kings, winning 267 to 218.
Now we have two playoff teams from last year, the Hurricane Wampus Cats and the St. Albans
Wampus
Sinners,
Cats
taking on each other. And this game turned out into a shootout. Defense was optional, apparently, in this game. The Wampus Cats got a huge game from Kyler Murray, 24. Tucker Kraft, the tight end for the Packers, 25. Roquan Smith, I think I said that right,
You
26 points. Yes. Putting up monster numbers all over the place. And the Sinners did also, as Kirk Cousins, yes, that Kirk Cousins, Kirk Cousins scores 37 points for the Falcons. Mike Evans with 23. Levante David for 23. TJ Watt, 24. This was just everybody scoring points everywhere. This is something the River Rats know nothing about. The St. Albans Sinners takes this one 294 to 280. Can you imagine losing and scoring 280 points? Wow.
It's tough. It is tough. All right, we go now to our week 5 game of the week. It's the champion Midnight Riders at 3-1, playing the 3-1 Dogtown Dobermans. And Baker Mayfield starts off for the Midnight Riders, continuing his impressive season with 26. Joe Burrow finally gets hot with 38. Justin Fields pitches in with 18 for the Midnight Riders. Joke comes along with the defensive end. On the defensive end with 28 of his own. Midnight Riders try to answer with their own defensive player, and Ricky Spillane with 17. But it is Duval's number 1 draft pick, Brian Thomas Jr., catches a long 80-yard touchdown, scores 25, and the Dobermans keep on rolling. Midnight Riders keep on struggling as the Dobermans win 281 to 206. That is it for your KDFL Week 5 results. I don't know why I said the Midnight Riders keep on struggling. They came into this at 3-1, but injuries piled up. The scoring has slowed, and that is right there, boys, the best rundown we've ever done. That's got to be it. That's in the Hall of Famer. The first clue is rundown, just because of this. It was beautiful.
Yeah, sure was.
All right. Let's go real quick. State of the teams. Detroit, you're on bye, so you had a nice little week off.
Yeah, it's weird or not having your team play. And then having a bye this week, this early, kind of sucks. Even though we're really banged up and the guys needed it, I feel like you want it like more towards the end of the year or mid-season. Honestly, I didn't really watch a ton this week.
It's great to say on the podcast. I love it.
Well, I mean, when your team's not playing, did some stuff with the wife and kid. You know, try to be a family man, something you could try to do once in a while. Some of us have priorities. But yeah, it was kind of free. I mean, it was kind of nice to be stress-free for the week. So
I hear you.
It was nice.
Falcons played on Thursday, so there's a little bit of a mini bye with us as well. Crazy Thursday game. Some would say the game of the year so far. I don't know why that was given heat, but whatever. Amazing game. We've now gotten lucky in two of the 3 wins so far with the Saquon drop and now the fumble with Berkey Irving and the last play to tie it field goal. We can't keep expecting Young Huku to do this, banging 50-yarders. But it was nice to see the offense finally firing. Cousins looked great. Darnell Mooney, Drake London looked good. Kyle Pitts got involved. That was about as complete a game from an offensive standpoint besides Bijan, which, let me just say this. Someone's going to get left out every week. It's just, there's math to worry about here. Like if you have Drake and Bijan and Darnell Mooney's doing this, and Kyle Pitts is expected to perform. It is math. Like someone's going to get dropped off. So
do you have to mention Pitts? He had one good game. Come on, let's
I'm
not
just
throw him in.
saying.
Let's not throw him in with those other guys. He's not the same.
Well, it's his expectation, not what he's done, but it's his expectation when he was drafted and brought in. Now he has a competent quarterback, but it's just math. Like it's going to be it's similar to the Niners, right? Somebody always, all the weapons go off every game. So that's all I really have on the Falcons. Panthers coming up. See if we can keep rolling.
Now it's time for Matt and his 3 teams this week.
Yeah, let's go. I said 15 minutes.
I'll be quick. Jags get their first victory. Their offense looked great. Trevor Lawrence looking like true QB1. Screw the haters, people that listen in here. Defense is atrocious, though. If they would have lost to any other team in the league that wasn't led by Joe Flacco. So I don't know. I don't know how this week is make or break on the season. Playing the Bears, they have to get the victory. So. If they lose, season's over. So see how that goes. Tank Bigsby, the greatest running back of all time. Brian Thomas Jr. would God, it's one bad thing on the draft this year. Brian Thomas Jr. looks absolutely amazing. I thought about offering the Dobermans Brian Thomas Jr. for Drake May straight up, see what he says. I think he would turn it down. But and then Drake May starts this week though, so we'll see.
It makes me think of the mystery box with the boat with Family Guy. It's like it could even be like Drake May. He could even be as valuable as Brian Thomas Jr. if I trade him for him.
Yeah.
I know it's not apples to apples because the QB position and all that, but
I mean, yeah, I mean, but then Drake May does awesome on Sunday, and I don't know, it's tough. Anyway, the Raiders suck. Season's over. It's officially over. Yeah, they don't have QBs. Great John Madden says if you have 2 QBs, you have 0 QBs. So they have 0 QBs on the team.
Bowers looks good.
Bowers looks great. They should just throw it to him all the time. Christian Wilkins is out. I don't know if it's out for the year, but he just had surgery. The defense was terrible up against the Broncos. The Raiders should have been up 17-3. Terrible interception. I think it was a pick 6. Terrible interception, and then turned the game over, and the Raiders just gave up after that. The Saints, RIP, season's over too, with Derek Carr getting injured.
We have some news on that.
Yeah, what is the news? I don't know.
Well, he's out for multiple weeks, but Spencer Rattler was given the start just now while we started recording on Thursday morning, which is weird because it's probably been out there for like half a day, but it's crazy to me since this is live on Thursday morning. Yeah, it's weird. So now Matt has sworn to me that he is now anti-Saints for a couple weeks. He has to be anti-Saints because the Saints need to look bad while Carr is out.
Well, okay.
I do. Oh, yeah, pretty much. There's no reason for me to cheer for him. I cheer for him for Carr. It's not like I want to be a diehard Saints fan when Carr is not playing.
Oh, so it's like me when it was Brady with the Patriots.
Yeah.
No, no. You went to Super Bowl parades and
if Carr won the Super Bowl match.
Changed your name to New England and all that. So
I love it. A couple of news while we've been recording. I just happened to see Spencer Rattler named the starter and Michael Pittman out multiple weeks, dealing with a back problem. So that's going to shake some things up. It has been a pretty heavy injury-riddled season so far. But anything else before we go into KDFL week 6?
Is it time to panic in San Francisco?
I know. I'm going to say something I said about Dallas last year. It doesn't have, no. I say no.
No. Okay.
Would you panic right now?
If I'm a Niner, I mean, I think they'll be fine. But as a Niner, if I was a Niners fan, yeah, I'd be. There's no way you would expect to be 2-3 at this point.
But what are they to win the division right now? Let me see. Because I have no doubt that they'll win the division. Yes, nice job, Detroit. So proud of you. #growth. Hashtag growth.
Tonight's game is huge for them. If Seattle gets that win, woo,
Beautiful
it is
throwback
time to
game, by the way.
panic. Yeah. Oh, the Seahawks wearing those uniforms?
Yes.
Awesome. I love those.
Trying to find the division winners. What do y'all think the Niners are to win the division right now? They're
Oh, it's ridiculous. 500.
I'll say plus 350.
it's never 500. You think they're plus?
No.
I know you
No,
don't think
we're
they're
not
plus.
Yeah.
I don't. They were never like that minus 500.
I
so
don't
it can't
know.
be that.
I saw some power rankings that still had them like number 4. I'm like, how can they be number
Plus
4?
110.
23?
Plus 110 to win the division right now. That's not bad.
Yeah.
But they do. I mean, they do occasionally have the season. It hasn't really happened. I guess it happened with Kyle when he brought Jimmy G in. But they do occasionally have the season where it's just like a lost, quote unquote, lost season.
Yeah, and I think we have to talk about, before we go on, about 2 other teams. And the 2 teams I'd like to talk about are in the NFC. The Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Commanders.
Amazing.
Who saw the
Sam Darnold's terrible.
I saw the Commanders. Don't give me that.
Did you? Oh, okay, fine. But
Well, that's giving me too much. That's giving me too. My
I'll
favorite
say-
bet was Commanders to win the division plus 1100. I didn't do it, so obviously I didn't see him that well. But yeah, that was my favorite bet. So I saw the potential because Dan Quinn starts hot, and Jaden Daniels and the Eagles might be down, the Cowboys might be down. Remember how the season was? The Cowboys fans were already the Cowboys fans acted like they had the team that like the Cardinals had before the season started. Like there's just no point in this
Right.
season. I don't know why we're doing this. So it was really weird. Now the Vikings, no, I can't imagine someone
I'll tell
seeing
you.
that.
the Vikings.
Oh yeah, do I need to pull up my tweet for Sam Darnold and the Renaissance man?
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I mean, I wrote an entire novel on Sam Darnold. Having a great
Let me-
year.
Let me tell you, the Vikings are set up nice to win that division. Yes, and I'm saying that because of my Lions. Or
The
even-
Vikings are good, yeah. Coaching, they got.
But
yeah.
I was looking at their schedule. They got 2 of their hardest games over with already, I think. 49ers and the Texans. They won both of those, obviously. Their games are Lions, Rams, Colts, Jags, Titans, Bears, Cardinals, Falcons, Bears, Seahawks, Packers, Lions.
Vikings
I don't
minus
see
Darnold's going
115.
undefeated. He's going undefeated, and then
Well,
you're going to have these idiots in here still arguing that JJ needs to start next year after they go undefeated.
I mean,
Detroit, are you too biased on that? Are you too Michigan biased? Like, do you think? I know you don't have to.
No.
Just
No.
because you say JJ has to start doesn't mean it's Michigan bias. But if it is, you
No.
have to disclose
okay.
that legally.
Let me say this. JJ looked awesome in exhibition, but it was preseason. So, I mean, who knows? Bo Nix looked great, and we don't know about him either. But if Sam Darnold continues what he's doing and takes them and gets them a division win or wins the division and wins a playoff game or 2, how can you replace him? I mean, you can't.
Don't. You're going to get yelled at. It's
Oh,
a very
wow.
sensitive subject for whatever reason. I don't know why.
I mean, they did it with Nick Foles, and it obviously didn't work out.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick Foles was never expected. Sam Darnold was, I swear.
Sam Darnold was never. Well, when he came into the league, he was
when
expected
he came
to
into
be
the
great.
league. Yeah, when he came into the league. Yeah.
Right. That's true. But Carson Wentz, you'd also seen more. It's really weird because Carson Wentz, you'd also seen it be like MVP candidate that year, and then he tears his ACL. And then Nick Foles comes in. The weakest, I don't know. This is going to sound bad. The weakest ACL tear I've ever seen. He just gets hit on the side of the knee, diving into the end zone. It was not great.
Detroit went
What? Detroit what?
out of
Uh-oh. Oh, there
JJ
it is.
McCarthy as the like surefire top of the just the way that system was ran. Now everybody acts like. I mean, did you see that watching the Michigan games last year?
You cut out a little bit.
Then-
What was the
well,
first part?
Did you see JJ McCarthy has been a surefire NFL QB last year when you were watching Michigan games?
I saw him as just like an average NFL quarterback.
And now everybody's acting like he's going to be incredible.
I think it's
did-
because the
Go
team
ahead.
he's on too. I think that has a lot to do with
You
it.
drafted the system,
system.
for sure.
Yeah.
But I did remember saying, because people were like out on redraft, people were out on Justin Jefferson because of JJ got hurt. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, that makes no sense. So you're thinking JJ McCarthy's going to be some leader in his rookie year. That doesn't make any sense. So, oh, the bot is being discussed in the KDFL chat right now.
I hate the bot. Can we get rid of the bot?
No, the bot's amazing.
Especially after that last thing that was shared.
It wasn't the bot's best foot forward. All right, the bot had a bad morning.
There are other people that I've talked to that hate the bot that is in that chat. I won't say their names.
Protect the anonymity.
Yes,
the bot hater, because the bot can turn on them.
Exactly.
The bot can turn on them and come at them. Keep the robots in your favor. Are we ready now?
Next, we're going to move on to our next games, but it is also brought to you by Milo's Iced Tea. So go to your local store and get you one. All right.
I've never even heard of that.
I haven't either.
Have you heard of that, Matt?
No.
Never heard of Milo's?
No, Milo's the second clue because no one will know why it's coming from.
Oh my gosh, what are you guys?
That seems like some country store.
It's from Alabama.
I think Mr. B potato chip.
They've been around since 1946. They're made in Alabama.
Yep. All right. Let's flip it. KDFL. Let's throw our picks up on the big board right now. Detroit went an amazing 2-4. That's back-to-back weeks at 2-4. Matt at 4-2. Yours truly at 5-1. We all missed on the Kings on the versus the Evil Empire. So apologies to the Evil Commish for doubting him there. NFL picks. We went a whopping 1-5, with Detroit getting the only correct pick with Washington -3.
And I missed my other one by half a point.
Yeah, you missed it by half a point. Matt with the Saints, he tried to pour his heart into the Saints money line, didn't work out. Vegas and Denver under 36 didn't work. Jets plus 2.5 for me was awful. And I missed the over-under and New Orleans KC by 3.5. So not particularly close there either. All right, back to us. And let me get prepared here. This is my favorite part because I always act
correction from the week before. Zen Masters lost. I got that correct.
It's on there. It's reflected correctly. And I do. Actually, you're right. We owe an apology to the Wake Forest Lumberjacks, as they did in fact get the win in stat correction versus the Masters.
Detroit Tigers win. Oh, I'm celebrating from yesterday's win.
You're just now getting over the hangover of them winning.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Let's bring up the games here. It's going smooth as always. I don't have the thing. All right, our first game, we're going to go to Hurricane. Ironically, as me and Matt are here, we're going to go to Hurricane, where the 1-4 Zen Masters taking on the 3-2 Wampus Cats. Wampus Cats have been scoring well, but have gotten unlucky, as we just noted. Losing with 280 plus points is pretty insane. But Matt, I don't know if we've used him yet, but I want to use him again because he did kind of turn the corner this last week. Trevor Lawrence, QB 16 on the week or on the year, averaging 15 points. He's projected for 16 against a tough Bears defense. What do you have? Over under that projection of 16 points?
For my fanhood, I'll say over. I'm not confident about it, though. This game does worry me because of the Bears defense, but if they have any chance of winning, he has to be over that. So over.
I do agree with you there. Yeah. Yeah. Detroit, what do you think? Over under 16 points for Trevor Lawrence against the Bears in London. It's in London.
This is one of those things where, yes, the Bears defense is good. Did they find anything last week in that big win? So are they going to continue to put up some points on that offense? If so, I can see Trevor having to chase the score so he could rack up a lot of points with just yards. I'm going to say he's not going to do it, though. I'm going to go with the under.
Under. All right. Let's go to the Wampus Cats side here. We're going to go, since we just did a Jag, let's do a Lion. Let's do Amon-Ra St. Brown with going in Dallas. He's the wide receiver 17. He started off, he had a rough first game, then had a good little run there. Now it's falling back just a little bit. St. Brown is projected 17. He averages 18.5 at Dallas. Detroit, I'll let you go first on this one. Over under 17 for Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, I think I think Dallas defense is not very good. They're missing quite a few guys. Like I don't think Parsons is playing.
Yeah.
Um, so I could see this offensive line just like controlling their defensive line. So I actually think the Lions are going to run the ball a lot in this game. Even though St. Brown scored over 20 points the last 3 weeks, I'm going to go under with this week. I just have a
Yeah,
feeling.
I messed that up. It's the bye week that has driven him down to
Yeah.
wide receiver 17. They did have a rough first week, but he's been on pretty much fire since. All
Yeah.
right,
I'm going to
Matt,
go with the
over
under.
under 17.
I mean, he's gotten about 22 plus points the past 3 weeks. Playing the Cowboys, you'd think it's going to be a higher scoring game. I will go over.
All right, and for the pick, Detroit, Zen Masters or Wampus Cats?
I'm going to go with the Wampus Cats. Uh, I just think they're just a better team. No offense. So I'm going
Scored
with that one.
240 last week.
That's
I,
right.
I, I,
Uh, I need I need help with my running backs. If anybody wants to tell me who has to start for my running backs, I have not gotten that right all year long. So if I get the right one, I'm usually good, but I've never gotten the right one. With that said, the Wampus Cats will destroy the Zen Masters this week.
Wampus Cats coming off that tough loss. I do like them to bounce back and get the W this week. All right, next, let's go to Dogtown, where the Cross Vegas Gamblers are being hosted by the 4-1 Dogtown Dobermans. This is a tough. Let's stay with Chicago and that Jags game. Let's go DJ Moore. He's wide receiver 15 on the year. He's averaging about 15. He had a big game last week. It was the Panthers, so take that with a little bit of a grain of salt. But the Jaguars D hasn't been that great either. So Matt, I'll let you start. DJ Moore over under 15 points. He averages 15. He's the wide receiver 15. He's projected 15.
Hasn't been great is a compliment to the Jaguars defense. They have
Yes.
been awful, terrible. DJ Moore and Caleb Show will do great again this week, just like they did against the Bears. Against the Panthers. So over. I'm picking over on every one of these apparently today.
Detroit.
yeah, I'm going to go over. He's had at least 8 targets or more, except for one game. And we've all talked about Jacksonville's defense. So yeah, I definitely think it's going to go over.
Okay, let's go to Dogtown. I could do Josh Downs and Michael Pittman with Michael Pittman now being out, but that's going to be tough because we're not 100% sure on Flacco or Richardson. So that there's no QB difference that changes the outcome for a wide receiver more than that duo right now. So we'll leave the Colts wide receivers alone. Let's go to Alvin Kamara. Might be leaned on heavily now, even more so with Derek Carr out and Spencer Rattler in. He's the running back 1 on the season. That's unbelievable to me this late in his career that he's still doing it. Very big surprise, but he is averaging 24. He's only projected 19, which is kind of a weird thing to say only. Matt, over under 19 points. Alvin Kamara, Tampa Bay. Good run defense, not the best passing defense.
Alvin Kamara is the RB1 on this year because all the teams have to worry about the deep balls to Rashid Shaheed and Chris Olave. They don't have to worry about that this week. Kamara might score 5 points with Spencer Rattler.
Yes.
So under,
Detroit.
clearly.
Detroit.
Yeah, I'm definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna go under. I was gonna say over because I feel like he'll get a lot of those little screen passes, but I don't even know if Rattler can even throw it that far. So
I have no clue what to expect out of Rattler. It'll be interesting. All right. So for the actual game, Gamblers projected 224, Everman's projected 249. So about a 25 point or so spread. Matt, who do you have? I went to backwards order. My bad, Detroit.
that's all right.
Dobermans again. Dobermans keep it hot. They won't be
Yeah.
close.
I agree. I will go with the Dobermans in a big one.
All right. I will also go with the Dobermans. And again, Offer is still out to Doberman GM. Look at my trade if you want to save your season. You're only 4-1 right now and nearly leading the league in points scored. So if you want to save your season,
Well,
you know
why
where to
don't you?
look.
Can we discuss what this offer is?
Oh, it's Rashad White and his first back for Christian McCaffrey.
Oh,
So he would lock up the Buccaneers running back room, and I would lock up the Niners. And he gets a first. It's a little. He doesn't need it right now. Is the problem at all?
No.
So he can comfortably wait for CMC to come back right now. But there's also a chance that I could just be giving him a first for a player that does not come back.
I was gonna say he may never play again.
Yeah, he may never play again. So it's a lot of gamble, in that. No pun intended, since we're talking about the gambler's matchup or opponent, but a lot of gamble in that particular deal. All right, let's go. Since we just talked about the Mega Powers a little bit, might as well go to them. The Mega Powers at 3-2. With the going to Wake Forest, going up north to escape a little hurricane damage this weekend to take on the 2-3 Wake Forest Lumberjacks. Let's look at the gamblers. Or I'm sorry, wow. The Mega Powers. I do not like a lot of these matchups right now. We'll go Drake London at Carolina, wide receiver 8. Had a huge game last week. He's projected 20 points, which is the most by far he's ever been projected. He averages 17. It is Carolina, but still, yikes. Matt, what do you think? Over under 20 points.
I don't know. I don't know that they need to air the ball out this week. That would be my concern with Drake London this week, but I will say under. Running game will be stronger, which you are going against the running game. So,
fun. Detroit?
I'm definitely going to go under. I was just looking at your roster, and I'm just curious. Are you worried at all with your quarterback situation?
Yeah, pretty terrible.
Bro, look at the injuries here. It's not going great. I'm losing value. Look, it was started out funny, but now it's like number 1 safety, number 1 wide receiver, number 1 running back.
He asked about your QBs.
Yeah, I asked about the quarterback.
Well, Richardson was on here, so that's why I was saying. I guess he's not. I guess he's back. He's not on the report.
Even if you include him, are you worried about your quarterback situation?
I'm not thrilled. I'll say that.
2 of these guys might get kicked out of the league by next year.
Yeah, let's.
Who's the other one?
Anthony Richardson and Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you said kicked out. I thought I had another. I thought I had another. Someone running afoul of the law on my team.
One's getting canceled. The other's getting kicked out for poor play. And Trey Lance is not even considered anything, so he doesn't even count as a QB.
Hey, this close today, the moment came almost. We had the scissors out for Trey, and I still couldn't do it yet. It's so sad. All right. Let's go to Wake Forest. Trace Brown's been looking better. He looked way better than Zach Moss this last week. He is the running back 22. He is projected 12. He averages 13. Let's see if this is going in the direction we want it to go in. It has 5, 4, 13, 25, and 16. So over under 13. Is it 13? What I said? Yeah, 12. Over under 12 points for Chase Brown. Does he finally take that job away from Zach Moss? Matt.
Is this the Sunday night game? Why is such a random Sunday night game?
John, this is the one that we all thought they would flex, and they did not.
Are you allowed to flex this early?
I think this is the first week. I could be wrong, but I think so.
I think he just made that up.
I could have.
I thought it was somewhere around like week 8 or week 9.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's later.
I thought they changed it.
Now. I don't know. But New York never gets flexed out. There's too many people. I think that's probably why.
Yeah, I'm right. It was last week, actually.
Wow.
So early.
Weeks 5 to 10, 2 games can be flexed. Weeks 11 to 17, any games can be flexed.
And they
have to provide 12 days notice.
Good. I saw they were leading the league in sacks. I feel like the Giants' defense has not been terrible this year. I'll say under.
Detroit, Chase Brown over under 13.
I'm going over. I'm going to take the over. I think he's going to start to see more carries.
Wait a minute, just so I know, who does Zach Moss play for in this league? Is it you?
No, not me. I used to have him.
Okay, you used to. Okay, well, never mind. I thought you just picked against your own guys. What was going to be great.
No.
All right.
We're not even going over my teams.
I know, but it's funny if you pick Chase Brown to take the job from Zach Moss while having Zach Moss is
Oh,
what
okay, okay,
was what I
okay.
thought was going down. All right, picking the game. Mega Powers are currently favored by 30, but we got one empty spot on the Lumberjacks bench, so they'll probably go to like 22, 21 favor. So not that big, but Detroit.
Man, when you're starting Andy Dalton as your only quarterback for the week, I cannot pick your team, so I'm sorry, Lumberjacks. I'm going to have to go with everyone's worst podcast host, Mega Powers.
Matt.
I can't. I don't think you're starting Watson this week
I don't think I'm
over
not. I don't
Anthony.
think I am either. For the record, I'm going to start Anthony
So
Richardson.
that would be another 4 or 5 points. Mega Powers get the W.
We have. I mean, I almost lost to the Gamblers last week, so this isn't like a taunt. But I'm having the right opponents right now to weather these injury woes at the moment. Like it's a little bit of luck shining down in Melbourne right now. I say that again as the hurricane approaches, mere hours from now. All right, next, let's go to St. Albans, to Nobbins.
Oh,
And we're going to talk
jeez.
about the River Rats game of accidentally flowed beautifully during this week. Detroit, pick a River Rat that we could do over under on,
Let's
as you did
go
not know this was
with
coming.
no, no, let's go with I'll be a homer. Let's go with Gibbs.
All right, Jameer Gibbs,
Actually,
running back.
yeah, let's do
You're
Gibbs.
good? Okay, Jameer
Yeah.
Gibbs, running back 15, averaging 18 points, projected 16. If we look, he's got Dallas as well. And we look, he's been very consistent 17, 17, 16, and 20. That's pretty remarkable. Matt, over under Jameer Gibbs, 16 points.
I'll go over. This Cowboys again. I think it'll be a high scoring game.
All right.
And
Detroit?
I'm gonna go over because I did say on the St. Brown one that he was gonna go under because I
You
feel like it's
did.
gonna be
I was waiting. Oh.
because I feel like they're gonna run the ball a lot. So I'm going to go over.
I was dying waiting for Detroit to one, pick the player, his own player, and then talk about how they're going to focus on the run in the previous matchup and then go against the running back on his team that he picked.
I
But
wouldn't do
you
something like
did
that.
well. You did well there. You did well. All right. This is gonna be a fun one for me. Mr. Kirk Cousins, Senators QB, coming off a big week. Now the quarterback 13. He's projected 22 now. So ESPN is somewhat believing in this little resurgence from last week, averaging 16 points. So Matt, over under Kirk Cousins at Charlotte with 22 points.
Based on the same logic I did with Drake London, I don't think they're going to
You guys
need
are
to do it this week with the Panthers. So I will stick to the under for Kirk Cousins.
I
you guys
agree
are
with
doing a tremendous job following the logic of your own words. It's absolutely mind blowing to me right now.
I agree with Matthew. I think that they don't need him to throw for 300 plus yards this week. So I'm going the under.
I don't know that I want to see him do that this week because I think that was
Yeah,
fine
he's
and that's
old.
good. I'm
He's
glad you could
old
do
and
it. I want to
tired.
see Bijan. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So the actual game, River Rats 225, Sinners 247. The Sinners continue to score well, even though it gets tough to see where the scoring's coming from. It's a lot of defense as well. But I mean, you had Cousins, you had Ramondre, McLaurin caught one. Like you had a good week last week. So, Matt, I keep switching it up. Matt, River Rats or Sinners in this game?
I didn't realize the Vikings were on bye this week. I was like, is he already mentioned Sam Darnold? Uh, I will go. I went chalk every game. Uh,
There's a couple coming that will be harder to pick.
well, is there? All right. Well, based on that, I will not be stubborn with this, and I will begrudgingly pick the St. Albans Sinners to win this game.
This will be absolutely amazing if this is the week he loses. One of the weeks he loses. All right, Detroit. Are you going with the River Rats to
I
get their first dub?
Okay, so let me talk about the state of the franchise for the Oakview River Rats. I feel that we are actually heading in the right direction. There's a couple young players that are starting to produce. It's a lot like the Detroit Lions when they hired Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes as their coach and GM. I also did that this year. That first year, I think they lost like 11 straight. before
Yeah.
they started getting the ball rolling. So I believe that's where this franchise is heading. So next year we're going to be on the cups of the playoffs, and then the year after that we're going to be a powerhouse. So we have Jaden Daniels, Gibbs, Keon Coleman showed up last week. J-Mo's been playing really well this year. Jordan Love. I mean, there's some pieces there. So I have hope. Is it going to be this week? No, it's not going to be. I'm going to take the Senators.
What a Corso impersonation that was right there. Absolutely Corso impersonation. All right. I'm going to go with the Sinners as well to get the win. All right. I hope you think this game's tough to pick, Matt. You might not. After I said that, it's the Kings traveling to the Renegades. Kings at 3-2, Renegades at 2-3, but coming off a hot week. Let's do an interesting one. I think we've done it before, but I think it's pretty interesting. Brian Robinson, running back 9. He's been solid, but it doesn't look as good as the scores look. I'm going to come off as a Brian Robinson hater, but like last week was 1-yard, 2-yard touchdowns. Like it wasn't some amazing game that he was having, but he scored well, which is at the end of the day all that matters. But it's going against the Baltimore defense. The Baltimore defense is a pass funnel. They do pretty well in stopping the run. He's projected 14 points, 13.5. We'll round it up. He averages 16 points. So let's go Detroit first. Brian Robinson over under 14 points.
I am going to go under. I think the defense is going to stack that line. I think they're going to make Jaden Daniels throw the ball, and we've seen that he's been able to do it. But I think Robinson's going to go under.
Matt, are you seeing what I'm seeing here on this lineup?
No, this one.
Hold on, I gotta get you back because my headphones went out, so I gotta get. Okay, are you seeing what I'm seeing on this lineup?
The Kings, who? For the Renegades, which one?
There's a starting running back bench on this Kings lineup right now. If I'm looking at it correct.
Yep, he is.
You hate to see it.
14 points.
You hate to see it.
I know. He was struggling this weekend. He was like, "Oh, I got too many good guys. I can't figure out who to start."
Yep. Those 1-yard touchdowns got him.
Yeah, although Dalton Kincaid has pretty much sucked so far this year. So Kincaid is on my bench too.
I was wondering the trade. I was like, where is this coming from?
I'll tie those two together. Both are benched guys for this week. I think it's I don't know. ETN. Yeah, I'd probably bench them too.
I think it's more the Bears, if I have to be honest.
Yeah. Were we asking about?
Brian Robinson over under 14.
It's the Ravens. I mean, the Commanders have looked good, really good. I know Brian Robinson, he just got a couple touchdowns last week, but I will say it's got to be a high-scoring game too. I'll stay over.
All right. Renegades. Look at the Renegades. Garrett Wilson finally had his big game last week, long overdue. He's now averaging 14 or 15 points. He is projected to go for 17 versus Buffalo. There's a coaching change in New York. Detroit, do you see Garrett Wilson over under that 17-point projection?
No, because they still have the same offensive coordinator. So I think they're going to continue to struggle. I don't see anything changing. I actually think that game's going to be a low-scoring game. So
under.
So I'm going under. Yeah, sorry.
All right, Matthew.
Garrett Wilson.
Yep.
They are playing
Bills.
The Bills. No, I think the Jets are going to be fired up this week because they got rid of their trash head coach.
Yep.
So, but I think Breece Hall has a bigger game than Garrett Wilson.
Ooh.
Because Breece Hall has not done anything the past couple of weeks. But specific Garrett Wilson, I will say he goes over. The Jets are going to come out ready to play this week. Fired up.
Head coach named Brett. There's nothing you can't go wrong with that. All right. Picking the game. Kings projected 256, Renegades projected 232, but again, the Renegades did score very well last week at 280, and the Kings scored a little bit over 200, like in the teens. So, Detroit, give me the Kings or the Renegades.
I don't really like the matchup for the Renegades besides he's got a couple Lions going against Dallas, but I don't like his Geno Smith and Tyler Lockett going against the Niners. I also just said Wilson's going to be under. So with that, I'm going to go with the Kings. And I'm sorry, Eric, but I think this one's going to get a little out of hand.
Woo. There is also a bench. There's a player on bye on the bench for the Renegades. These guys are really pushing to the limit. I mean, it's Thursday morning, and they haven't got their lineup set. My goodness, I can't believe it, but we'll see. So they'll bring him a little bit closer. He'll be inside the 20 projections once he fills that role. So, Matt, Kings or Renegades?
Yeah. Power could go out too. So
yeah,
fix your lineups, people.
Yeah.
Chris Olave, I am concerned about him this week. I don't know if he'll get. I don't know how he'll do. Maybe they're come out firing, but he's got Ayuk on the bench too. So I think the Kings will figure it out. I'm not sure necessarily I agree with the lineups right now, but I don't like Brock Purdy or Geno Smith going against each other on Thursday night. That's Thursday night games suck. They should get rid of them.
Not all of them.
They all suck. And I also go to bed at like 9:30. So
there we go. You always, when Matt says something sucks, you always got to put him on the couch, the psychiatrist's couch, and get to the root of the matter. That's what it is. I've been
waking up at 5 a.m. lately. So,
yeah.
I will go the Kings. The Kings will figure out their lineup. It's not right now, and they will win.
All right. I, too, am going to go. This is Dunbar on Dunbar violence in this matchup. But do an opposite thing. Kings struggled last week to score. Renegades scored really well. Flip it. Let me get the Kings and get no win. So is that 3 Kings? Wait, 3 Kings.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, our game 6, game of the week. This was very hard. I do not like repeating games of the week, and I do not look ahead. And I know the Midnight Riders were in the game of the week last week, but there's hardly any matchup here that wouldn't cause some type of overlap or some type of third appearance in the game of the week. So we'll just go tried and true. We'll go with the Thunder Buddy matchup. The replay of the title game from 2 years ago is the 3-2 Marmot Midnight Riders taking on the 4-1 South Hills Evil Empire. Look at that projection. It's projected difference. But let's look at the Midnight Riders, and there's one specific player I want to focus on. He has struggled so far, but Nico Collins is out. So let's look at Tank Dell. Not really going to pull up what he's done. It hasn't been much. He is a wide receiver, 73 on the week. He's averaging 8 points, but he's projected 13. You would think Diggs would get Gonzalez. You would think, you know how obsessed I am over cornerback matchups. So you think Diggs would get Gonzalez, so it might free Tank Dell up some. Detroit, do you like Tank Dell over under 13 points this week, taking on the Patriots?
Over. I think he's going to I'm going to predict he gets 20 points this week.
Man, what a kiss of death for Tank Dell. Matt, over under 13 points.
I'll say over just because Nico's out and the Texans they got a pretty easy matchup. Yeah. But it's also going to be a high-scoring matchup affair considering they are facing the greatest QB of all time. So,
Tom Brady's coming back?
I want to point out one thing. Nobody's going to see this. Your computer is very strange because my projections are saying 227.4 to 227.4.
That's what mine says, too.
I would like to know why my computer is the strange one.
Something is wrong in Melbourne.
I can tell you what happened. Let me just reload the bad boy. Let me reload it. I'll tell you what happened right here.
What did you do? Look at it 2 days ago?
I guarantee what happened here is that
it happened on another one. I want to point it out.
It happened right here. I just looked at I prepared before the podcast. There it is. There's your projected beautiful time. Here's what happened. I guarantee it. Without even looking at it, Michael Pittman went out while we were starting this podcast, and Alec Pierce got a slight bump. You heard?
I don't think so.
That's exactly what happened. I guarantee it.
Yep.
You got one more catch, or half of a catch.
You're sabotaging us. Looking at the screen, trying to make our picks.
All right. So now it's a complete. Now I'm happy it's game of the week because it's a completely locked up projection. Let's look at the other side. Jamar
Hold
Chase.
on.
What?
I'll say these are two pathetic score projections for these two teams that are normally
What? It's the super
much
bye week
higher.
for their two teams.
Yeah, look at that
No,
bye
that's
week.
what I heard last week. I heard that last week for the Evil Empire, as that was projected more points than the Eagles are on bye. So who's on bye this week for the Evil Empire?
Look at these projections. If this was 2022, this would be a crippler of a week with Jefferson out, Cup out, and Kelsey out. Now you look at it, you're like, I know Cup is out, but I'm just saying seeing those names together is something.
And Mahomes is on a bye.
Yeah, Mahomes for the Midnight Riders.
Kelsey sucks. He's
There's a lot of crossing swords in this matchup. A lot of you help me, I'll help you. Tummy sticks, whatever you want to say. There's a lot happening. Happening in this matchup here. The Evil Empire. Let's look at Mr. George Kittle. He'll be in prime time. We haven't done a tight end yet. He's having a great season. Tight end number 2 on the year. Projected 15, averages 17. He's obviously probably not going to get Witherspoon and stuff like that, right? So he'll be roaming around. Detroit over under this projection for Kittle of 15 points. Philly score.
I'm just gonna say, this is gonna be a very unpopular opinion, but
You're not used to those.
very nice. I don't like George Kittle.
Wow.
Everybody loves him. Everybody loves him. I don't like his face. I don't like his hair. I don't like his stupid colors he wears. It might be because he's a Niner, but he's still great. He's amazing. So I'm not taking that away from him.
Replacing the Corso clue with I don't like him.
No, I just don't like him. I hate his little duh after he gets a first
He's
down.
a stupid dummy.
Yeah, I would love for someone to just cheap shot him and just give him a concussion.
Jeez.
Anyways, so I can't wait for the commission to hear that. I'm gonna get all kinds of hell for that.
Yeah.
But what was the question?
I mean, I just wanted to know if the man's going to score 15 points or not, and you want him dead.
I didn't say I want him dead.
Concussion.
Just a little brain injury. I'm gonna say over. He'll get a touchdown.
That was a pity over. That was a pity over. You do not believe.
I mean,
you said I've said too much. I've been too mean to him. I'll give him an over right here.
No, because he's gonna do what he always does, and he's gonna make me mad. He's gonna score a touchdown. His team's probably gonna win. So I'm going with the odds there. I'm gonna say he does it.
Matt, over or under?
Only because it's Thursday night, I'm going under.
All right. Now let's pick Detroit. Let's pick the game. Completely tied projection. Now that we now know since it's been refreshed. Pick the game, sir. Midnight Riders or Evil Empire?
Looking at these matchups, I don't know, man.
Paid to know.
I'm gonna go Midnight Riders.
Matthew?
I gotta look. I'm looking. Give me. Yeah, the Eagles are going to kill the Browns. Browns are trash as long as Deshaun's there. I'm going Evil Empire solely based on that game.
All right, so at least we won't have the meme again. The defense advantage for the Evil Empire is pretty nice, but I do like Justin Fields. Is he gonna start? He is still gonna start one more, right? They're gonna give him one more. I know Russ is back, but they're gonna give Fields at least one more start. With the injuries, yeah, let me get the Midnight Riders to get the win coming off a loss last week. Both these teams will be 4-2 at the end of it. And Evil Empire. All right. That's it. Let's stop the share here. That is it for your KDFL Week 6 predictions. And it for this episode, Detroit.
All right, let me start off. I think I might have been a little too hard on George Kittle there. I apologize. I don't want him to get a concussion.
Turnaround.
I know all the San Francisco hate mail is going to start pouring in, so I apologize. Anyways, with my picks this week, I love the Bears -2.5 against the Jags in London. I think the Bears might have found their little footing with their offense there. And then I'm going to go with the under with the Bengals and Giants under 47 and a half. It's been a good week. Go Tigers. Go Lions. Go River Rats. Brett, you suck.
Matthew.
All right, I'm going off memory for my sports bets. I believe I chose the Buccaneers minus 3.5 over the Derek Carr-less Saints. So Bucks should win that one pretty easily, I would think. And my over, I am drawing a blank. Who did I pick?
Went with the Steelers in Vegas over 36 and a half.
Oh, yeah, and I did that because the Raiders are done for the year and the Steelers might score 37-0. So with that, everybody have a pleasant week. Me and the host of the show will be battling out Hurricane Milton for the next day and a half. So everybody be safe. God bless. Godspeed.
Stay safe, bros.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, for my picks, I'm looking to get the QB spark from the change to Drake May, and it's in New England, and it's against the Texans, but they're wearing the red throwbacks. So that's a little tip right there. Give me the Saints. Give me the Patriots +7. And then both these teams were in shootouts last week, and I'm thinking it's going to regress a little bit. So give me the Commanders and the Ravens under 51.5, the shootout of Maryland. All right. So that's it for this week's episode. We will be back next week with the week 5 results and week 6 predictions. That being said, for Jonathan Detroit Haynes, for the Zenful, Matt Smith, I'm Brett Steele. We will see you here next week right here on the KDFL Dynasty Football